Welcome back, peeps. Thank you for tuning in to the Banter Bros channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the top 10 tips and tricks for the new 200-player quads mode in Warzone, alright? They said this was a limited time game mode, but they actually decided to keep it in the newest weekly update. So I decided to compile the top 10 best tips and tricks for you guys, as it does seem this game mode may be here to stay for a while. So hopefully after this video, you guys can get a little dubs for you guys, or at least get a couple more kills when you are playing in this game mode. And remember, if you do enjoy this kind of content, please like and subscribe and turn that notification bell on. It deeply helps me out a lot. And without further ado, let's jump right into this video. So starting off, we're going to go from tip number 10 to tip number 1. Tip number 10, do not get overwhelmed, all right? Do not get cold feet once you're in the plane and you know you're going to be like, God damn it, you know, there's 200 players, where do we go? I see a bunch of people left, I see a bunch of people right, up, down. That is going to happen. There's just going to be so many players. 200 players is a lot of people in a single lobby. All right, so the worst thing that you can get is panic, get a bad drop, land all over the place. That is the thing that you do not want. So just shake those nerves off and get ready to jump into a lot of action. Tip number 9, stick together off and after the drop, all right? It is very important that you land together, loot together, and fight together. If you do all these things together, you might manage to work together and get yourself a nice dubs. It is really, really important, as again, when you're fighting against 200 other people, there is just people all over the place. So if you stick together as a unit, you might make it out alive. Tip number 8, leave no stone unturned, all right? So even if you may think, you know, there's 200 players, everything's going to be looted, there's going to be no more contracts left. I believe because of this game mode, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but they actually added a lot more contracts into the Call of Duty Warzone world, all right? So now there is plenty of contracts to go through. Something that I suggest you to go to is a lot of people have been deciding to actually go out of the plains route. So something that me and my friends have been doing is going directly to contracts that are on that plains route. Usually we get 1 or 2 squads maximum. I think we've usually been getting 1. That is just something that we're trying to go for. Again, you may think 1, that's a lot, but in this kind of game, there is just a lot of people. So just always be aware you will always land with people. But that being said, just remember, always check every single tent, every single house. There may be other secret locations with loot that maybe people have not found yet. So never leave anything unturned. Tip number 7, remember to control all the chaos that is going around here. Especially with 200 players, multi-team fights is something that is going to be a lot more common in this kind of a gunfight. And you may be the 3rd or 4th team or squad fighting in that area. You know, you're fighting a squad, then the squad comes up behind them, then a helicopter comes, and somebody else comes. This is something inevitable in something like this when the map starts getting smaller and smaller, and there is still a lot of players around here. That is why it's very, very important from that first tip that I told you guys to stick together as a team, right? Always have designated positions. You know, you're going to be like, all right, this guy, you know, there's always going to be somebody watching our back. There's always somebody going to be covering this entrance if we're camping a building. You just got to be aware of the multi-team fights that are going to happen in this mode. Tip number 6, trigger control. This is something that I have a friend that does this a lot, and if you have a friend, you got to tell them to stop doing this. Trigger control. It is the people that have an itchy finger, the people that see somebody and want to snipe them, even if they're 1,000 meters yard out, 1 meter out, whatever they are. Even if you're running in the middle of the open and you've got no cover, and he sees an enemy, he's gonna smack him because he wants to smack him. All right. So just tell your friends. You know, again, you will really get punished in this kind of bigger lobby situations if you're running in the open and you take some shots at some dudes, or you're just trying to shoot everybody because you see somebody you want to shoot them. Tell that that itchy trigger finger friend that, you know, that is just not going to happen in this kind of game. So just let them know, please do not do that, because you don't want 200 heads turning your way. Tip number 5, know your role. This is something very important. This tip does apply to traditional squads because not everyone's skill set is suited for the typical assault rifle combo or the typical assault rifle SMG combo. All right, although those weapons usually fit in most of the situations, you got your assault rifle for close and medium, and then your sniper for the long range. There are still some people that might be better off with shotgun, a launcher, or even a riot shield. And yes, if you guys do want to know the best riot shield class, which is, I believe, the best support class, I think specifically in this 200 game mode, you must have a riot shield class. And I'm going to put it in the screen right now. I believe that is the best riot shield class. It is a combo between the riot shield, the gas grenade, and the thermite, and it works perfectly. The riot shield class is a guy that's going to provide overwatch. He's going to let you guys where enemies are. He's going to block entrances, and he can revive teammates, or he can protect them while they're down while somebody else gets them. So having that support operator is really, really important. Also, somebody that has an LMG might also be really important to mow down people in cars. Talking about cars, that is tip number 4. Rides are in this game mode. That was something very interesting that they decided to do. Even though there's 200 players, there are still vehicles, all right? So if your team decides to use vehicles for faster movement, although my team, I specifically don't use vehicles, but if you are one of those teams, it may also be the best to split your squad up into multiple vehicles to avoid a squad wipe, all right? Or at least if you do have a trophy system, again, as you guys know, they have added that where you can put trophy system in vehicles, in helicopters, on ATVs, on anything, you can put a trophy system. So just always do remember, place that trophy system on your vehicle. Tip number 3, and a very, very, very important one. This is a tip that I would give for other modes, but more importantly, this one, always land for a weapon, not the contract, all right? It is very important since there's going to be a lot of people landing with you, a lot of people in your surroundings. The most important thing for you guys is to get yourself armed, locked and loaded, and get ready to kill some mofos, all right? Or what you can do is if you squad, there's obviously 4 people. You got 3 people that go for the gun, and then 1 person that's going to risk his life to get the contract, all right? He's risking his life, but it is very important also to get the contract because contract gets you the money. With the money, gets you the loadout drop so you can be even more OP. Tip number 2, win your gulags. It's something I also say in a lot of my videos, but in this one, it is very, very important. Mostly because of that other tip I explained, which is the multi-fights that you may be fighting a bunch of squads. So the difference between 2 versus 4, and if somebody wins that gulag 3 versus 4, it is a very, very, very big difference. Now, why is also important to win your gulags? Usually in the other game modes, let's say if you're playing trios and there's 150 players, your 2 teammates are dead, you know, you can still go get that most wanted, get yourself camping in there. Maybe somebody tries to push you, but because it's trios, you manage maybe to run off. And there's not that many people around you, so you manage to get the most wanted, all right? Most wanted are actually pretty common. I actually have completed quite a few of them. But in this kind of game mode, if you are the last person in your squad and you're playing the 200 mode and you have a most wanted, I'm going to tell you, you better be goddamn Shroud and better be prepared to kill every single motherfucker that's going to try and kill you, all right? Because if you have a most wanted in a 200 squad, it is going to be extremely difficult. So win your gulags. And then the final tip is something really, really important just so you guys don't get upset. But you are bound to die more and try more times to get the W in this mode, all right? It's just bound to happen, all right? There's more players, so more things can go wrong. So just don't get upset like, man, god damn it, this goddamn game mode sucks. You know, fuck this game. I mean, I have been saying a lot with this game mode, but I finally understood that's just bound to happen when there is more players. Whether you like it or whether you not, you need to accept those facts. The more players there are, the more fights you can get into. The more fights you get into, the more chances are that your squad will get wiped out. All right, so that's just something you need to understand, that you may die more and it may take a little bit more time to get yourself that W. But if you guys did enjoy this video, please like and subscribe. Like I had said before as well, do remember that I stream almost every single day at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you got anything else to add, please do so in the comment section down below. Peace out, everybody, and I'll see you all in the next one.